So, how you doing? Today we're going to do a lesson on how to draw a basic cartoon figure. It's not, a realistic figure, but it's Finn from Adventure Time. Yeah, you've seen the show.
Yes.
Okay. This is a very popular show, so I figured, be a good example to show you. Basically, drawing if you look at this, you think, wow, that could be kind of hard to, figure out the proportions of things and figure out how big something is and where it goes exactly. But it's actually really easy to draw something like this once you break it down into basic shapes and basic lines. So it's going to end up looking like this, but it's going to start, and what I want you to do is follow along with me as I do this. It's going to start by looking like a basic rectangle, like that.
So do it in the middle of the page?
Yeah, do it so you give yourself more room at the bottom. Okay. Now, the next thing you have to do is go to the middle of the rectangle, see where the middle is, and then go a little higher, and then draw a line across, like that. Okay? Now, the next thing you do is on the top part here, make a little window. Very, very simple. What the window is that's a way for us to see where the eyes and the mouth are going to go. Okay, the next thing you got to do is draw. What else do you think? What's the next thing you have to do?
Arms and legs.
Arms and legs. There you go. So, this arm is weirdly shaped, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it can start. All you got to do is draw a weird curve like this. Start it where this line is that we drew in the middle. And the next one you can do like this, like he's waving. Okay. Now the legs, for the length of the legs, what I was thinking when I was figuring out when I was practicing this is that they're a little shorter than this distance from the bottom up to where the top where the bottom of the window is. So just, you can put your hand like this. This is the thing when you're drawing, is you can use your hand a lot to get distances of things. So put your hand up here and then you bring it down here, and you can actually make it that length. You can bring it down to down there, like that.
Something like that.
Yep, perfect. Okay. Now the next thing is the hands. So hands are the hardest thing to draw on a person. These hands are kind of easy because they're kind of cartoony. But when you start with hands, the hand is a ball. A ball with, now cartoon characters, realistic humans have 5 fingers, but cartoon characters always have 4 fingers. So you can draw the thumb, and then 1, 2, 3. The thumb, 1, 2, 3. And then for his feet, they look like beans, basically. And make sure that when you draw the feet, you don't have the very end of the foot line up with the bottom of the line. Have it go a little bit behind the line. Because if you look at your foot, your foot doesn't go straight down. It goes out a little bit. You know what I mean? So, just draw 2 beans like that. Okay. We pretty much have the basic shape for Finn now. So now we have to put in the actual details. I want to use a pen, but I think I'm going to start with a pencil because I don't want to mess it up in front of the camera. And you can use a pencil too, and then we can ink it in later. So you can start by putting the mask on him like this. And basically just have it meet the bottom, have it meet this line we put in the middle here. And then you can bring it down. And it's going to, the side here is going to turn into the side of his pants also. And you can bring it down to about halfway, or a little above halfway. And then do a little like curve like this. Not a straight across, but like a curve, like the top of like a soup can. And then bring it back up here. Do the same for this side. Bring these two lines up to the bottom of the rectangle, and then do a little, not a straight across, but another curvy line for that part right there. Okay. Now, so we can look at the drawing for reference. So now the next thing is we have to put the line between his pants and his shirt. So you put the line right here like this. Very simple. And the next thing you can do is his face. And you can pretty much do like an oval like this. And this is where this window pane thing that we made comes in handy. You can put these two little dots for eyes right above the line going across in the middle, pretty much in the middle of each of these separate panes. And then you can make another little weird peanut or pickle or whatever if you want to say for his mouth and his teeth and his tongue. He's a cartoon, so it's a little funny looking. Okay. Last but not least, the arms. So you put this thing in. This is his backpack. These like bulges here on the side. And then for the arms, don't use the wire that we drew as one of the lines. Draw two separate lines around either side. Like that. And like that. Oh, I'm also going to do the legs too. So, I'll let you finish that. So the legs also, just little nubby things. Have them stand down to the feet. And you can draw like sock, like top of his socks if you want. Very simple. Now the hardest part, the entire thing, that's the hardest thing in a realistic drawing, it's the hardest thing in a cartoon drawing is the hands. So use what we did, use as a guide, similarly to what you did with the arms. Just do like, sort of, again, like weird peanut shaped things around each one of the lines. And it actually ends up looking not half bad. Give it a try. Not bad. You drew Finn. So the next thing I'm going to do now is have you draw him yourself, but in this stance. Now it's pretty much the same. I mean, he's not doing anything crazy. He's not fighting with a sword or you know, doing anything weird with Jake. He's just twisting his body a little bit. So I have this separate piece of paper here, and I'm not going to do it, okay? I'm not going to walk you through it. I'm just going to have you try to remember what we did here using these same shapes and the same lines and the same thing we talked about. Just draw this one. And it's right here. You can look at it. You don't have to worry about drawing from memory or anything. While you do that, I'm going to ink mine in.
Wait, so
Yeah.
since his face was like straight here, we made these lines straight. Since his face isn't straight, are they as a line? They're not like.
Yeah, they're not going to be straight.
Okay.
You're right. So, what I would suggest doing when you do this is drawing the rectangle, but drawing the rectangle a little curvy.
Okay.
So, when you look at this, just try to imagine the rectangle looking like this, as opposed to straight up and down. Okay. What's the next thing you're going to do?
Line for the
Yep.
face.
So I remember it was like right in the middle, but then you go up a little bit. Cool. Okay, remember the arms were a little higher up. They were right where that line was. Now, no human being in the world can put their legs like that, but I think it's pretty funny that he can. So just try, just have some fun with that. Okay, so you got the basic shape now. I would say one thing is the rectangle gets a little fat here. I would say maybe bring this side in a little bit. But other than that, I think you're on the right track.
Okay, so erase here and then make the line go like.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, it's not a big deal, but I would say maybe bring it in just a little bit, just like that much.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Oh, you forgot something. Before you move on to the details, you forgot something very important.
Oh, the pants.
No. How's he gonna move around? How's he gonna walk around on the ground if he doesn't have these things?
Feet.
He needs feet. Yes. Cool. All right. So you got the basic shape. Now, what's the next thing you're doing? The thing on his head. Yeah. The mask, whatever. Okay. You can have it extend down because basically it's one line. It really is. There isn't really a difference in the line between the mask and the shirt. And you can remember to look at that. I mean, you can always remember to look at that as reference. Okay. So now.
Face.
Okay, you can do the face next. Face is always good to start with the face. I didn't start with the face, but you can definitely start with the face. So the mouth for this one is a little bigger, but it's really basically the same thing. I mean, the two dots are exactly where they were on this one. So the great thing about these characters when they get designed is they go through so many different models, so many different angles, that that by the time they have it, like the finished design done, it's like perfect. And no matter what position the character is in, the eyes are always going to be in the same place. The mouth is always going to be in the same place. They might be bigger or smaller, but they're going to be in the same place. Okay. One thing I would say about the mask, the bottom line of the mask, and I didn't catch this before. I would make it curvy.
Okay.
Because we're kind of looking down. There you go. That's better.
So now fingers. Or wait, the book bag.
Okay. Why don't you just do the arms?
So now the fingers.
Yeah, use the fingers now.
So the book bag.
You can do the book bag if you want. So basically, what do you think?
Sort of.
Sort of. I mean, it's not bad. Do you think you could have, if I had shown you this drawing and told you to draw this, but I hadn't given you, like, broken it down like that, do you think you would have done a better job or a worse job?
Worse.
A worse job? I mean, I don't know if you're interested in drawing, but you can always use this model when you draw anything. You can even it doesn't even have to be a cartoon character. I mean, drawing an object, like a chair, or, the guitar. Anything you can break down into basic shapes. So, there you go. We can ink it in, but we won't do it for the camera.
Okay.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
All right. We're done.
Okay.